Hi, I'm Andrea and welcome to Productive C#. In this video, I want to talk about mocking with NSubstitute. Here I have a class called University. Let's say I want to put this class under test. This class contains a method, report_students, that get a list of students using the collaborator student repository. And then if there is at least one student, we'll count the number of males and the number of females students. And then it's going to send two reports using the notifier, passing basically the number of males and the number of females to it. Fairly quickly, I'm going to show you what the iStudent repository looks like. It's simply a method that returns a list of students. One student contains a name and a sex is an enum, male or female. The iNotifier is an interface that takes a string and that simply report that. Okay? So now we want to put the university class under test. And as you can see, there are two tests we can write. One that check that if there are no students, we are not going to send any report. Or if there is at least one student, we're going to send the correct report. This method here does not return anything. So there is no way to test this method by checking the result of this method. The only way to check that this method does what it is supposed to be doing is to use a mock that allows you to basically verify that this particular method calls the collaborator in a particular way. Specifically, you want to check that this method calls the report method on the notifier, passing the correct parameters. Okay, so let's have a look at the test. So the first test I want to show you is when there are no students. So I create a university class, passing a student repository that is simply a substitute, and when the getStudent method is called on the substitute, I simply return a list of students that's empty. And then I also have a substitute for the notifier. The syntax to verify after calling the reporting students method, to verify that the notifier actually did not receive any call, is this one. So you use the notifier dot did not receive, and then you specify the method you want to check that it was not received, that is report. In our cases, we do not care about a specific string that is being sent, so you can use an argument matcher that say, I don't care about what string is used because I only want to check that I haven't received any call. So this is the syntax you can use in NSubstitute to actually verify that. So if I run this test, you will be able to see that the test succeeds. There's another way of doing that, that is simply using did not receive with any args. And then you say report, and then you can pass anything here, doesn't really matter. Let's use default in this case. I prefer to use a default keyword to make it clear that this test, it doesn't matter what this value is. And this will also pass. It's just another syntax for doing the same thing. That is slightly better than how to use argument matches in this case. All right, so here we are testing that nothing is sent to the notifier when there are no students. Now, let's have a look at the other test that is trying to create a list of students, 2 males and 1 female, that will be returned by the student repository, and then verify that the notifier is called twice, passing the number of males and number of females. So you can quite easily understand what the syntax of mocking in NSubstitute is. You just need to do notify.received and then specify the method that you expect that should have been actually called by university. And in our case, we want to expect that males2 is passed to the report method on the notifier mock, and we expect that the females1 is also passed. And also if I run this test, this is also passing. So the syntax is very intuitive to understand and allows you to pretty much verify any collaboration with your with the collaborator class. What happens if, for example, I put the wrong number? I want to show you what kind of error message NSubstitute will give you, and it's actually quite easy to understand what's happening. You see, the NSubstitute is telling you that it's expected to receive a call matching report males3, but actually have not received any matching calls. And the actual calls that have been received are these two, males 2 and females 1. So NSubstitute is actually telling you how the collaborator, the mock, has been called, so that you can actually make the necessary adjustment and make sure the test pass. And this is pretty much how you can create mocks with the NSubstitute. You create a mock in the similar syntax using substitute.for, and then you use received or did not received method in order to verify that the substitute has been called in the appropriate way based on your test. It's a very useful feature that allows you to pretty much test any class in isolation using NSubstitute. Thank you very much for watching.